Yo, 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 yo. Today I'm going to do a questionnaire with Delta. Delta sent me some questions in Japanese, which I'm just having them translated over, and then I'll give answers to them. But basically it's mainly about racing games, like Lotus Turbo. Oh, actually, hold on, let me start first. So allow this music in it. And allow them talking, let them talk first, and then...
Kirk, we owe you one.
You can thank me later. Chris, Sheva, it's almost time for Alpha Team to go in. Hurry to the deal coordinates.
Roger that.
I'm going on ahead. We'll meet up there. Good luck.
Right. So as I was saying, I've got a questionnaire with answers from Delta, and it's basically about car games. When I was young, how did I play them? Certain things I used to do, aspects, intuition, training, techniques. So I'm going to break it down with Jericho. Can I ask you a shoot question from your racing days? Of course you can. You said about Lotus, Ridge Racer and Forza are your favourite games. Is it like for real or personal memories? Sorry if English is low. Yeah, they're like in car game terms, they're like the best three car games. For me, how I grew up into cars. Lotus was a phenomenal game for what it was, but really and truly that belonged to my brother, man. No matter how close it was, there's facts why he was better, and I'll break it down in simple terms for people to understand, because this will sound stupid to him, because I'm going to tell him things that he didn't know, so hopefully I'm going to give this to him so he'll listen to it. But there was times that he would get up and he'd go to work, say, I don't know, 8, 9 in the morning, and he probably wouldn't come home till 7 or 8 at night, and through that day I'd have 12 hours to sit in his room and play that game. I'd have a pen and paper, book, all kinds of shit I'd be writing in there, working out how to get in these corners deeper, how to get out of this corner, how to get away from this wind velocity thing that the game had, because when you were driving in a straight line from certain random places the wind would blow in and the car would swerve in certain places. When the water was on the road you had to know how to slide around the water or you'd lose speed. Traction control, all kinds of shit was going on, and I was sitting there. I had a 12-hour advantage over him, and no matter how much that advantage was, he would come home from work, we would race, and he'd still be behind me by about not even a second. So it's like he never practiced. I have to say it, like that's how it would be. He would come home with no shit, not a care in the world, and we were still on equal terms, no matter if I practiced 12 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours. It's like he probably knew. He, deep down in the back of his mind, he thought, yeah, Michael's obviously in my bedroom and he's playing it, or something's going on. He's probably doing things to improve, but it don't matter. No matter what he does, he can't beat me still. That's probably what it was. Deep down, that's what it was. I'll never know, because I've never really sat down and with him and gone and picked his head like that, because back then I was a kid, man. I couldn't think like that when I was like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I didn't think like that. At 40 something, it's a different aspect of thinking. Let me see what else there is. Are you okay for an example? An example? Oh, okay. For other car games. I could add Mario Kart to the SNES, because that game had no ABS, but I wasn't good at that game compared to others. There was others who were better than me, so I can't say that was like, not because it wasn't a great game for me because I wasn't up there. It was a great game because it was competitive and it had different cars, but I wasn't at the pinnacle of that game and I never really reached that height, so I can't really say that, you know. I only can talk about the games that I was conclusively better at. What was your training type methods? Oh my god. So basically, when my brother moved, he got his own place, and my brother would go to work. Something I don't know. I think it's about 7 or 7:30. No, I think it would be 7:30 in the morning, and I would take the morning off school, so I'd leave at 7. And by the time I walked through the sewers and got to his house, because I had the key, so he trusted me. Like, he'd know I'd always look out for his house, and I'd check his house. And he would go to work, and then I'd be there. I'd be practicing, and I used to do that like every day for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months. But there was all kinds of things, because I had folders. I think I've still got some of them. I'd have to post you some photos. There was things like you'd have folders and stuff, and I'd turn up, and I wrote over lines and speed numbers in corners, like you brake at 102 miles per hour, and in this place you have to slide, and then you got to understeer, and then you got to drift at full speed, and then you got to bring it back into the counter at 114, and then you got to brake and clutch, and you only got 2 miles per hour to do that in. Like, you can't, like, you got to get it from 116, and then you got to wheel spin it so that you bring it back to 114, and then the car will stand dead line center, and the wheel would do no traction, full speed. And I was doing that for like 5 or 6 hours through the day. So by the time that it was said and done, it was probably lunchtime at school. It was probably about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So I'd go in and get my mark, and I'd stay in at school, and then when school was over, I would like get out of school, jump over the fence, and go back to his house and carry on where I left off before he'd get back. So by the time he'd get back, I was sitting outside with maybe a friend just talking, and he was asking if you were alright, and I said, yeah, you know. So basically you raced, what's that? You raced what everyone could have taken like 5, 6, 7 years. You did it in under a year. Yes, Flank. What I don't understand is, were you not scared in the corners? In the beginning I was scared, but after a while it's not real life, is it? So I guess the fear was completely gone within, say, 6 months of practicing things. When I was accelerating, when you accelerate with cars, the tyres naturally slip and things like that, so it took me 5 or 6 months to control the cars the way I wanted to. You mastered the downhill in a year. Well, yeah, if you do it, the thing was, I was doing it every day, and I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't really doing nothing then. I was at YTS, and then those people used to rob me and stuff, innit? So I didn't want to go anymore. So I just kind of retreated at my brother's, you know, in a bad way. Not in a bad way, but I just wanted to stay away from people. But yeah, if you do it every day, your nervousness about slipping disappears quickly. It's not like I was doing much. I was just finding ways to be faster, I think. And then after a while, I started to see how I could get to the guardrails, scraping in for more speed in the corners. Those were the funny things, because at the time I didn't think, like, in Lotus there was no such, you couldn't do that, because if you touched anything like the fences or you scrape the corners, the car would hit, you'd lose like 50 miles per hour. But in Ridge Race it was the complete opposite. Like, if you scraped things, you were like going at full speed. What's that? Lol, what the fuck? Would a normal person do something so dangerous? Well, I never thought it was dangerous, because when I was in the clear mind, at best I could scrape the walls at about 1 centimetre. 1 centimetre, is that even possible? How do you know when a car has maximum potential, like a kind of balance of fuel? Braking, steering, wheel control, shifting, gas pedal techniques, it's like cold as ice. Even if one of them is a little rough, you lose time. Everything has to be perfect, and you have to be like that 100%. I don't know to others, but for me, the primary control of a car is the centre of balance. Without it, you can't do much. Without mastering a centre line of balancing. That's what I think anyway. That's what I believe in. That's the method I took myself, and I always believe in that. Thank you. No, thank you, man. But if you guys can ask any questions you want about anything, about any game. I don't mind doing this, because at least I can just share something and give you guys a point on what it used to be like, what I used to like. On if you could rerun them games again, what one would you play again, and for what reason? Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Do you know what? I'll say it like this, but I don't want to say this in the wrong terms, innit, so people don't get it the wrong way. If I could have played games with certain friends without thinking that you'd have all this garbage going on in your life with people chatting shit and all these kind of things going on, or you couldn't have friends that are jealous and hating with you or putting knives up to you, taking things off you, then I'll be honest with you, I'd rather just play Forza. I'd rather play Lotus Turbo with my brother and never go out, and I wouldn't understand anything outside the real world. I could just play that till I die, you know. But then at the same time, if I did that, then I wouldn't have the friends I have today, you know. There's a lot of friends I know I've met through gaming that ain't shitheads. But if I want a peaceful life, then yeah, I think I'd play Forza. I think I'd play Lotus. I keep saying Forza. Forza had drama, man. Forza did have drama. Ridge Racer didn't really have drama. So Ridge Racer was the epitome of Daytona. Daytona had drama. But what would happen if Ridge Racer 1 was online and you could race with 12 people? And you all could race on the starting block with all different type of handling overpowered cars. What would actually happen in that game? I'd never know. It'd be interesting to find out. But yeah, I think if I could change everything, if I could go back and change everything, I think I'd like to sit down with my brother and do that all over again if I had the chance. If I could go back 30 years, I think I'd do that. I don't need shit in my life today. Ridge Racer, yeah, as I said, Ridge Racer wasn't online, so it was a very different concept back then. And Forza 2 was the game of its time. I don't know about now, but that's what I would do. What do I think car games lack today? What do they lack? They're too easy. No disrespect, but I think Forza 2 to me was the last great car game, and then I remember going to the shops and buying Forza 3, and Forza 3 was like a special box set, and it was like £100, and all I remember is it had ABS traction control assist, braking assist, gear shifting assist. I was like, what is this? What is this nonsense they've added in the game? So you got people that you're racing against have got their assists on and can keep up with you against someone who's like in manual control, manual traction, manual ABS, against someone who doesn't know how to slip wheels, nothing. It doesn't make no sense, man. And even now they've still got them options. I think it's Forza 7. They still have those kind of options. Forza Horizons 4 or whatever it's called. They have options like that in the game today, and it's like, that's not a car game. Another good car game, oh actually, that's another good car game that was underrated. Need for Speed Underground 2. Need for Speed Underground 2. That's another one that's underrated. Oh my god. That's your six car games there. Lotus 2, Lotus 1, Forza 2, Ridge Racer 1, Mario Kart, Need for Speed Underground 2, and there was something else. I just forgot what it was. Yeah, that's your games. Actually, car games. But no, Need for Speed Underground 2, shit. I could write a thesis on that as well, because that was actually kind of funny to play online, because everyone used to think the Vauxhall Corsa was a shit car because it was a 1.2 litre, but the things you could do in the corners in it, it was a corner weapon. People didn't see that coming when I won that. And I told people, and I remember they had a tier list and they said, nah, the Vauxhall Corsa's like down the bottom. They didn't like things like that. Even though they said there was 322 cars and the Honda 2007 was listed the 4th worst car, and you still won 8 championships with it. Why did you pick that car? It's the only car I liked. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the look, the car design. I don't know. Like, I looked at all the cars in the game and I just picked it. But yeah, there's lots of people in lobbies were saying that car was rubbish, it was shit. But listen, I won B class, I won A class championships with it. I was content. C class, I don't think it's possible. There's too many good. Peugeot 206 was too good. But yeah, 2007 was a nice car. Definitely a very nice car. There's no sweats in that. But yeah, man, I'm gonna cut it there, because I think we'll do a couple more Q&As later today if I can. I've got some free time. I'll try and do something else. I'll probably put this up so my brother can hear this as well. He'll have a little listen when it comes to car stuff. He feels into that. So I'll catch you lot in a bit. Save for that. Thank you, Delta, as well. Thank you, Kariagana Master.